Rings and Rings, 2 Lincoln locations on O Street or Village Lane. Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in, temperature-controlled, high-end wine bar. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting book. There's only one place to go for all your needs for wine, beer, spirits, and cigars. Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Do you need your event or venue secured? Call Tank Security Team. Tank Security Team is Lincoln's #1 non-lethal security company. Tank Security Team offers first-class security with efficient and quicker response times. Hire Tank Security Team. No hassle, no headaches. Call Tank at 402-310-3589 and get secured today.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves them, that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome in. This is Old School on 93.7 The Ticket, as well as ticketfm.com. Streaming live worldwide on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, as well as here in the 402, the 308-531, wherever you are. Allo Channel 961. If you're an Allo subscriber, flip your TV to Channel 961. You're watching our live streams right there in your living room. I'm Austin Norman. We are joined on our Allo Fiber VIP line, same Allo that sponsors Channel 961, where they understand the importance of exceptional service with local heart, by Jay Foreman on the road in Indy. Jay, how is your favorite AFC South town?
Oh, Austin, why would you start a conversation off like that, my brother?
Here, let me try again. We welcome in Jay Foreman in Indianapolis. I am wearing my Colts hat today, Jay. How's that?
Yeah, that's great. You know, I would like to say, well, I would tell you, I had great times in Indy. One, I did pretty good at the combine. Number two, when early in my career in Buffalo, we used to destroy Indy. And then when I was in H-Town, it didn't work out too well. But everything's all sort of good, man. You know, it's on my flight, Rhett Lewis was on there from the Big Ten, so it was always good to see some familiar faces and they got a lot of stuff going on like always.
So, Jay, we know that Houston is at the top of your AFC South cities list, and we know Jacksonville's at the bottom. Which is better, Indy or Nashville?
Oh, that's hard, man. I think Indy on the sneak is a great town. I think it is. I just don't know it as well as – I don't even know Nashville, but I know Nashville is pretty sweet. I guess I'll just do Nashville because it's the new hot spot, but Indy is not to be – like they used to say back in the day, trifled with.
I feel you. So you made it to Indy. Flight was all good. How you doing getting settled out there? Anyone else from the ticket make it out yet?
I don't know where they're at, man. Who knows, man? They just, they just show up. I don't think so, but it's a calm before the storm, man. It's 2 or 3 days of a lot of radio, and it's gonna be, like I said, you knew the team from before, but then also. You're going to see the new players and, Oregon coming in, which, they're going to be probably preseason top 5, worst 6. So we'll see how they move, it'd be interesting to see, size up some of their players versus, our players, I guess, just or what you would think and see what they can do. And also see what Washington's doing. And then obviously USC and UCLA. It's crazy, when you think about it, right? Just was it 2 or 3 years ago, Lincoln Riley was like, he's got the number one player, before, in the draft, obviously Caleb Williams and a host of other players. It's a matter of time before he, possibly could have, took the Arizona Cardinals job. If you read, between the lines or listen to Paul Finnbaum or anything like that, it's just like a matter of time before homeboy is looking for another job, and he's at a blue blood university with a bunch of talent, and the confidence that is lost in that program is going to be interesting to see how they are, in a new arena, which is Big Ten Media Days.
It's going to be interesting to watch how that unfolds, Jay, because we've seen guys leave USC and be successful head coaches otherwhere, right? Your boy Lane, right, had his fallout at USC and Tennessee before he grew into the Ole Miss job. Sarkisian at USC, had his own bumps in the road. Now he's got Texas up and going. I'd be curious to see if USC does let Lincoln Riley go. If it turns out that Lincoln Riley and his playing style and his coaching style were the problem, or if it's dysfunction at USC, something behind the scenes that's holding that program back more than any one head coach.
Yeah, it's interesting because, look, you can say what you want about Lane Kiffin when he was there, how they handled it and fired him on the tarmac. That's Bush League, right? You should be such a blue blood program that you don't handle your business that way. And then, with Clay Helton and, even Ed Ogeron and all that, it just hasn't been good. And it's a lot of some big players, as far as in their athletic department and boosters. I thought they had that kind of rectified because it was a united front that they went and got Lincoln Riley. It was kind of like when we hired Scott Frost. It was like, we have to hire him, and obviously they were covert in how they went and got him. But it's going to be interesting in the fallout of where it went wrong, how it went wrong, whether it was, not holding Lincoln Riley accountable to hiring a better defensive coordinator from the get-go. We went through that a little bit, Nebraska many moons ago with Bill Callahan and so forth and so on. Or was it a style of play that wasn't actually, I guess, in good connection with bringing USC back to national prominence? Because, look, one thing that's always going to happen, USC is always going to have speed. They're always going to most likely have a quarterback, and they're generally going to have some speed on defense. So how does USC get back into being a dominant team in the Pac, or the old Pac-12 and obviously the new Big Ten? Is you got to start winning the line of scrimmage. And so was it glossed over because Oklahoma had a lot of players, offensive linemen, drafted? Like, okay, he's developing offensive linemen. Well, on the flip side, you got to have a good defensive line, and just hasn't worked his way out. Now, supposedly he's rectified it, or not rectified it, but addressed it. And, we'll see very shortly because it's all going to be how they approach not only, the accolades, but some of the criticism, and also, Austin, how he and that team deals with adversity, which could come very early in the Big Ten season, is going to probably, be the tell-all sign of will it continue or have a chance to get better, or will the plug possibly be pulled sooner than later?
We'll definitely have to see, because I could see it going, surprisingly well or off the rails. Strick and I were having a conversation about Oregon before, and I want your thoughts on it. Who is better prepared to make the jump to a new league? Is it Oregon to the Big Ten, or is it Texas to the SEC? I said Texas because I think they have that sort of arrogance and swagger about them. Sarkisian having been at an SEC program. I feel like Texas has been building to an SEC jump for a while, where I feel like Oregon is still kind of an SEC wannabe, and they're joining the Big Ten. It's not Lanning's roots in the SEC. And Texas is used to criticism, to media, and to attention to a degree that, yeah, we talk about Oregon, but not like we do Texas. So even if they're comparable teams, I still think Texas is slightly better prepared for the jump to the SEC than Oregon is to the Big Ten.
Ooh, that's a hard one, because I would argue with you or make a point that Oregon has more recent SEC type of football, like track record, right?
Okay.
I think Texas has, and I can't even say it this year, but I think Texas everybody thinks that Texas might be SEC ready because of Sark is their coach, but then also they went down and beat Bama.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. I guess I would probably say, to be honest with you, Oregon, because they've done it before. Also, Texas, we remember when your boy said they're back, they always let you down.
Hey, don't forget Sam Ellinger also ended up on the Colts, so maybe he should come to Indy just for fun, for kicks and gigs, and tie a knot, build a bridge, whatever it is. The other two Pac-12 teams here, real quick, Jay, we'll go to break, and then the preseason poll from Cleveland.com came out. I want your thoughts on it next segment. But Washington and UCLA, what's more likely, that Washington underachieves preseason expectations or that UCLA overachieves them?
Oh, I would probably say the easy thing, Washington underachieves. I mean, they both have new coaches. It's going to be hard for UCLA to overachieve because for what we've been told, their talent isn't there. When Chip Kelly left, right, it wasn't a normal, resign and be an offensive coordinator. It was late in the process. Washington lost a lot of players to the draft, and, they're probably living off that last season hype.
They definitely are. And Jed Fish, is at least proven at the Power 5 level as a head coach. He's got that over Foster. But Jay, this is where I'm not trying to say UCLA is going to be good or not going to be great. I think UCLA can make a bowl game. The schedule's not terrible. They have the quarterback returning, and they have a top 5 receiver in the Big Ten in Sturdivant who's there. It's at least something, right? I mean, it's not a lot, but I feel like Washington is going to come in with more hype than it probably deserves. And I know people are being pretty realistic about, it's going to be a big rebuilding year and everything going on there. But I just think back to last year with Northwestern, the way that program, it got shook even more than UCLA did. Deeper to its core than UCLA did. I'm not going to say UCLA is going to, challenge for a Rose Bowl, but
right.
I'm burned by being so low on Northwestern last year. I think UCLA is just going to be, regular bad 4-8, not like 2-10 bad.
No, I don't think they'll be 2-10 bad. I think they'll be competitive. I will say this. It'll be interesting to see. It'll be great to see Eric Bieniemy. I think he's going to pay huge dividends for Deshaun Foster. He's an LA kid. He's invested. I think he's going to be a sneaky good hire for UCLA. And also, let's not forget, Austin, they had a dang good defense last year, and they bring a lot of guys back. So when I think Deshaun Foster is going to try to lean on that defense, try to be as creative as they can with being efficient on offense, and just try to be disciplined, and they'll pull out a game. I'm going to tell you what, if things are kind of going shaky over there in Trojan, what they call Tinseltown or whatever, where USC's at, look for UCLA to upset them. I'm telling you. And if they do it, Deshaun Foster will make waves in recruiting because he can recruit, right? He's younger. He's obviously a UCLA guy. I think they're bringing some more money for NIL or whatever. And they'll start to get on the right track. But this is a huge year for them. But I think I think they can. I agree with you. I think they can make a bowl game. But I think 6 wins is probably their ceiling. And yes, we both were burnt last year from Northwestern because I didn't think they would win a game considering what happened. And obviously they were probably the best story in college football last year.
Hey, you mentioned that UCLA defense. If you see my boy Latu walking around the streets of Indy, I'll slide you a couple bucks for an autograph. Deal?
Deal. If I see him, I definitely. I'll say that if you were really that dude, Houston would have drafted you. But no, he's. I will tell you this, Austin. Everything that you read about him, from mini camps and stuff, he's the real deal. And plus, he has a great story too. Was told to retire from medically retire. He got a second opinion, and he ends up being a first round pick and a legitimate stalwart in that pass rush 8 deep defensive line that the Colts is going to run out there this year.
I'm excited to watch it. Also excited for you guys to bring in from Big Ten Media Days. You got another segment to stick around?
I sure do.
Perfect. We'll be back here in just a minute then. Jay Foreman on our Aloe Fiber VIP line. The Big Ten's preseason poll from Cleveland.com. Brett McMurphy tweeted it out if you want to get prepared. We'll be right back. Talk through that with Jay Foreman next year on Old School.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. 93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see a chance of showers and storms. Otherwise, partly sunny skies with the high around 84. Tonight, a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms early, then partly cloudy skies with the low around 64. And tomorrow, we'll see mainly sunny skies return with the high around 88. I'm meteorologist Kyle Tucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Become part of the Landmark difference today. Landmark Implement, your John Deere dealer, is currently hiring in our parts departments. As a member of our team, you'll assist customers in finding the right parts for their equipment, manage inventory, and collaborate with sales and service. Whether you're a seasoned professional or just starting out, there's a place for you at our dealership. Apply today and grow your career with Landmark Implement, where your skills make a difference in the ag community every day. See full details online at landmark.careers.
For only $2.99 a day, LES powers life's sweetest moments and keeps all your summer treats icy cold and ready. Learn more at les.com/value.
For over 15 years, Integrated Life Choices has empowered individuals with disabilities in Lincoln and throughout Nebraska. They provide comprehensive services from group homes and independent living services to job training, ensuring fulfilling lives for those that they serve. Now, they're inviting you to join their mission. If you're passionate about making a difference in the lives of people with developmental disabilities, explore rewarding career opportunities with them. Learn more about their services and apply today at www.ilc.net. Be a part of Integrated Life Choices, where your work truly changes lives.
Ready to score big with your projects? Look no further than Edward Stone, the MVP of natural stone for over 2 decades. Edward Stone is cranking out over 30,000 square feet every week and offers a winning lineup of over 70 quality natural veneer stone selections. Their unbeatable variety and experienced team will ensure your project is a success, whether it's a home renovation or a commercial build. And hey, they're not just about stone. They've got an all-star lineup of fireplaces, cast stone, brick, and much more. Swing by one of their locations in Lincoln or Omaha today and experience the Edward Stone difference, your reliable choice for over 20 years.
Play ball! Tired of the same old routine? Then bring your crew out to Haymarket Park for a thrilling season of Lincoln Salt Dogs baseball and unleash the fun. Enjoy action-packed home games all week long from May through August. It's the perfect change-up to the typical family night or makes for a home run outing with friends and coworkers. Experience the magic and get in on the excitement. Visit saltdogs.com to secure your tickets now. Unleash the fun.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with laborers starting at $23 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for laborers, mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road. There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals. At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just a professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, our passion. For happier, healthier furry friends.
On the Block with Strick and Austin.
If it was the Big Ten and the SEC and the Big 12 and the ACC's idea to kick back to grow the game at lower levels, we wouldn't have these conversations. Right. But because the NCAA is asking them to do that, it feels like they're getting their wallet stolen, money taken out of it, and it's not their idea, so they're against it.
Yeah.
Weekdays from 2 to 4 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Back to Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Austin Norman with you inside the 93.7 The Ticket studio. Jay Foreman on the phone, our Allo Fiber VIP line. Jay, before we get into this Cleveland.com Big Ten preseason poll, maybe remind people who sponsors Old School and what they need to know.
We brought you by the Mercado, certified Piedmontese, special ingredients butcher shop, 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, 168th up there in the Metro in Omaha.
Amen to that. All right, Big Ten preseason poll. Number 1, Ohio State. Number 2, Oregon. The only 2 teams to receive any first place votes of the 27. Again, 21 go to Ohio State. 6 of them go to Oregon. Does that make sense to you? Are you surprised that there wasn't another vote for like a Penn State or a Michigan to lead the league? Or do you get the feeling that it is a 2-horse race between the Buckeyes and the Ducks?
Well, I think right now it is just based on, obviously who they were bringing back and also, the recent history. I think the trust in Penn State being able to, win a big game is I wouldn't say it's gone, but it's kind of a wait and see. And then I think everybody, Michigan seems like they had like 25 guys drafted or are going to be in the NFL. So you just assume with also some big parts of their, championship winning coaching staff being gone, that, they shouldn't, get any first place votes. I'm only surprised because you would think a Michigan, a Michigan, voter or alumnus that's a voter would vote for Michigan just because they're the defending national champion.
The Wolverines come in 4th behind Penn State, but then number 5 is one that I know we don't talk about a lot here in Husker Lane because they're right across the river. But Jay, I think Iowa's the dark horse to make the playoff out of the Big Ten. With that defense, there's no way the offense can be that bad again this year. I think the schedule sets up pretty well. I'm not saying Kirk Ferentz is going anywhere, but let's say Iowa, makes a run at the playoff. Could this be a successful swan song year potentially for Kirk Ferentz?
Oh, it could be the last, shoot you the bird, if they do make the playoffs. I think they have the potential to do it, right? But I would ask you this, Austin, and I'll give you my opinion first, is like, are you really a believer in that Iowa offense with what they got bringing back? I don't think they have a receiver that threatens anybody. I'm assuming that they'll be able to run the ball at a higher clip. I like McNamara. I like Lachey at tight end. But they lost a heck of a lot on the defense. Yes, the defense will always be competitive and be ready to go. But to the point to where they're going to, you got to think they have to outperform Penn State and Michigan and let's just say a surprise team that creeps up on Iowa. I think they'll be in the mix. It'll be hard for me to think that they're gonna get there considering what they bring back on offense. Doesn't really, first of all, it's not going to be appealing, but number 2, I don't think it's going to be explosive enough to get them over the hump.
No, I'm with you. I mean, there's nothing there that inspires a whole lot of confidence that it's going to be a good offense, but it's hard to be, as bad as it was last year. In your opinion, Jay, of those teams, 3, 4, 5, which has the best defense? Is it Iowa, is it Michigan, or is it Penn State?
Oh, it's either Iowa or Penn State. I'm going to say Penn State because, that's hard. I'll give Penn State the nod, especially because they got my man Tom Allen coaching the defense. But Iowa's defense is going to be pretty salty this year.
Higgins might be the best defender in the conference. I know that excites you because he's a linebacker. I mean, that dude had 170 some tackles last year. That's unheard of. 171 tackles.
Well, you got to think he replaced Campbell, and I remember we interviewed him at the Big Ten Media Day last year, and he was like, "Man, I'm getting my chance. I just want to play good." Like he was just hoping to have a good season, and he had a phenomenal season. Now, if he's going to be back, he's going to be a captain. It's going to be cool to see him in a more of a leadership and alpha role But look, man, that lets you know that all the people say just jump in the portal. Look, he played behind a legit first round pick starting for Detroit, got his chance, and definitely made him some money probably in the NIL field, but definitely made him some money in the eyes of NFL GMs and scouts as well.
The rounding out the first half of the Big Ten poll, USC comes in at 6th, Wisconsin 7, Nebraska 8, and Rutgers at 9. We've talked a little bit about USC, and I know we'll talk a lot about Nebraska, but those other two teams, Wisconsin and Rutgers, Jay, I get having Wisconsin ranked ahead of Rutgers because of Fickell, because of the Wisconsin track record, and Rutgers probably has another leap to make, but Rutgers at least knows who it is, and Rutgers gets out of the Big Ten East. They get to play a full Big Ten schedule now. Again, I'm not going to say Rutgers is challenging for the playoff or something, but if Wisconsin doesn't have an identity, I could see Rutgers being at least as good as Wisconsin this year.
Yeah, I mean, those two teams, where they're ranked is tricky because, okay, you have the same, like, internal conversation or conversation between me and you about them, right? Wisconsin, you're like, okay, second year league, Luke Fickell. They bring back some good pieces on defense. They got some decent, pieces coming back on offense. You got obviously, Van Dyke in the transfer portal. You always assume their offensive line is going to be good. So you think, okay, Wisconsin's going to get back to, just winning and being Wisconsin, right? Then you're like, well, you went your whole year and nobody could ever figure out like who you were on all three phases. You said your purpose of the bye week is to have an identity coming out of the bye week, and you continue to do the same thing, and you don't have Braylon Allen. It is more of the same, right? Because just something seems a little bit off, and it just hasn't caught on yet. But you think like, okay, potentially is this the year? Then you think about Rutgers, right, where they're their ultimate team that plays you close, but they'll play Ohio State close and lose, and they'll play Penn State and lose, but they just don't have the offense. But they have a pretty dang good running back and running quarterback with a defense that's pretty aggressive. But then it's almost like they're a replica version or a bootleg version of Iowa. Defense, special teams, so offense. It's both of them. But I do think like this. I do agree with you. If there's a team that I had to bet on that knows who they are and will eventually, if they can get some continuity on offense going, that will be able to finish, I would probably say it's Rutgers, just because of they've been building towards this, and Greg Schiano has upped the recruiting numbers, and when have we had in the last 5 or 6 years, and obviously Greg Schiano hasn't been there, where it's a foregone conclusion that Rutgers has been easily in every preseason poll, and everybody we've talked to that have called in, that they got Rutgers easily within the top 10 in the Big Ten, in some places even higher.
Yeah, it's been a minute since we've had that conversation about Rutgers. Moving down the list here, I'm going to give you 3 teams and just any assorted thoughts you have on them. Washington, Maryland, and your Gophers up there in Minnesota.
Washington, Maryland, and the Gophers. Ooh. Washington, man, that's hitting home because I got my man Jed Fish. I think he's going to do a sneaky good job. I'm not sure the talent that he has, but I like his coaching staff. I think Washington. I'm just going to go with Maryland. You want to know I'm going to go with Maryland? I think they're always going to be able to score points. I think Mike Locksley has recruited and developed offensive and defensive linemen to be more like that. I'm going to go with Maryland. But those other two teams are going to be right on the heels of Maryland.
Well, Maryland is another one that benefits from getting out of just playing the Big Ten East. I don't know if it's going to raise their ceiling, but that certainly doesn't hurt them at all. Being able to see some of these other teams that are in the middle of the pack with them. The next group of 3, Illinois, Northwestern, and then UCLA. Jay, to me, Illinois is maybe the most boring team in the Big Ten right now. They've been fine for a couple years, lost some NFL talent. Bielema's been around the block in the Big Ten, for a number of years now. They should be bowl eligible. I'm just not excited by Illinois. Whereas if I look at Northwestern, the question is, what's your follow-up, right? How do you come back from what happened last year? Are you able to replicate it or get close? And then with UCLA, you're the forgotten one in LA. Everyone's writing you off. Are you going to overachieve?
Yeah, it's a tricky situation because just last year, and you said, Austin, when you think of like a team like Illinois, right? They kind of like Northwestern is this year. They were the belle of the ball, man. I'm telling you, when Brett Bielema walked in, it was like, oh yeah, this is the dude. They're on the cusp, and obviously they did not reach the heights that they wanted, and they've had some transition. Obviously, with Jim Leonard leaving and losing some guys to the draft, especially from the defense. Northwestern is in the same boat. Everybody knows who you are. It was a great, story last year. Braun is obviously was rewarded with a full-time gig, but what are you going to be in like your year two? You're not the feel-good story. Nobody feels sorry for you anymore. You very rarely hear Pat Fitzgerald's name, especially associated with Northwestern. What are you going to do in year two? I think it's going to be a little bit of a letdown, but I think that it will be also a growing year. And what I mean by that, Austin, they went 8-5 last year. Obviously the cherry on top was beating Utah in the bowl game. But I think even if they don't become bowl eligible and they end up like 5-7, I do think it's a growth year because you have to, it's like that middle year, the sophomore slump when you try to make that big uptick in year three. And that's what I think Northwestern is facing.
I get you with that. Last three teams then here are Michigan State, Indiana, and Purdue picked last year. Michigan State and Indiana, we both know, undergoing coaching changes. It's Jonathan Smith in from Oregon State to East Lansing. It's Kurt Signetti from James Madison to Bloomington. But Jay, Purdue picked last behind these two teams with new coaches, behind even, UCLA. If Purdue finishes last in the Big Ten, is that it for Ryan Walters after just 2 years?
Yeah, he gone. If he finishes last behind Indiana, he's gone. He won't make it to Thanksgiving. And the thing that hurts Purdue, they're almost like a mid-major program where they lost a really good outside both of their really good outside pass rushers. They have a really good young freshman safety. I think it was a Huckabee or whatever, the running back. He's pretty good. I like the quarterback, Hudson Card. So, he's one of, if you listen to people down at the Manning camp, he was one of the better quarterbacks, and that's all of the better supposedly best quarterbacks in the nation down there. So I think there's more to it. I would be extremely motivated if I was Purdue. But I think if they finish last, obviously they would have no choice and to say, you know what, we like your energy. It's too big of a job. Maybe we need to try to go in another direction. But I like Coach Walters, but he's definitely got his back against the wall.
I like Coach Walters as well. And that's where I'm curious to see how different schools handle the new landscape, right? Because Purdue's never been thought of as this power program, this power play or anything like that. You had the Joe Tiller days with Drew Brees and all that. But other than that, they're just kind of Purdue. And I know you can't wait too long or give a guy too long of a runway to get off the mat and get going. But if you believe at all in Ryan Walters, it's a tougher conference and you're Purdue, right? You're out of the way. No one's going to pay attention to you. Do you have more time potentially at a job like that because you're off the beaten path and people are paying less attention? Or do you have less time because it's more important for you to have those pop-up years where you're really good to get some excitement?
I think if you make that commitment to Coach Walters, you actually played a little bit of the long game. 2 years, especially after Brom left, Jeff Brom left, and took a lot of that identity out of the program to flip it on him after only 2 seasons with the new landscape of the Big Ten, of NIL and college football would be a very impulsive move, because I don't think they would be able to get a replacement that would come in and do better in year one versus Coach Walters in year 3. So it's the program. What Purdue's like. Often when I was younger, like University of Minnesota had a coach named Glenn Mason. He got where Minnesota win 6, 7, 8 games, go to a bowl game, and then all of a sudden that was success. And then what happened is that the alumni, or not the alumni, but the powers that be was like, oh, we need to go a little bit higher. But that was actually the ceiling that Glenn Mason always kept the Gophers at. Never below it, but didn't have enough to, juice and recruit to get above it. It might be a season or 2 above it, but you always were right where you needed to be. That's where Purdue is really struggling. because they had a little niche as far as being an outlier in the Big Ten. It worked. It's now gone. And the identity of that program is gone. Now you have new identity. And so sometimes you will keep flipping over coaches trying to find that, genie in a bottle, per se, to get your identity back or a identity back.
All right, Jay, thanks for your time. I'll let you go with this one. 3 days in Indianapolis. Who's the team or the coach or the player you're most interested in hearing from?
That's a good question. Let me see. I would probably say, it'd be good to see Jet Fish. I would probably say the player. I don't know what player I want to see Dylan Gabriel. I want to see what he's about. Because Bo Nix, I think, set the bar super high, and we saw him when he was at Oklahoma. But this is a different ball game. I want to, see what he's about, and see, how he moves and all that stuff. And so I want to see him, but then also definitely want to see Jet Fish, and I want to obviously see how Lincoln Riley, handles this type of, essentially the best conference in the nation, or one of, obviously this in the SEC, how you deal with this type of media day versus, Pac-12, where, they could sleepwalk and always be thought of as a champion.
Our wall-to-wall coverage from Big Ten Media Day starts at 6 o'clock in the morning Central Time from Indianapolis. Jay, you're finally on a trip with Nick, right? Every time he goes on a trip, he comes back brand new. Keep him same old, and don't you come back brand new on us, okay?
Oh, I always keep it 100. I always say it's always the same suit, just reheated. Nick, somehow, some way, will find a way to get upgraded. I don't know, but I've already said it. But Austin, here's the deal. I've already told him at the front desk he's not allowed, so it's all good.
Hey, that's laying down the law. Talk to you tomorrow, Jay.
Yeah.
Good to hear from you.
Yeah. All right, man. We'll holler at you.
That's Jay Foreman on our VIP line, brought to you by Aloe Fiber, where they understand the importance of exceptional service with local heart. One more segment left in hour one. We'll be right back, wrapping up that hour of Old School next.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Ready to add a dash of Southern flavor to your week? At Wings and Rings, their brand new Southern fried wings have arrived for a limited time. Indulge in the irresistible goodness of large, traditional bone-in wings coated in a crispy beer batter and fried to perfection. Try them with hot honey or any other sauces. And for those busy summer days coming up, look no further than their Southern Fried Wings Family Bundle. Wings and Rings, 2 Lincoln locations on O Street or Village Lane. The weather is hot, the kids are out of school, and you're on your way to the lake and summer road trips. Are you getting to your vacation spot comfortably, or is your car letting you down? Mullen Motors lot is full of great vehicles to take home, so you don't have to worry about your current car barely surviving another road trip. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride for summer road trips and beyond. Mullen Motors.
No tag-ons, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Hay season is a race against time. Win that race with an all-new 1 Series round baler from Landmark Implement. The all-new John Deere 1 Series round baler is a revolutionary leap in baler technology that captures near real-time moisture and weight data that can be analyzed through Operations Center to improve your bale quality and farm efficiency. Are you ready to upgrade your hay equipment? Contact your local Landmark location for full details on the new 1 Series round baler and experience the Landmark difference.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just a professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, our passion. For happier, healthier furry friends.
Get ready, Husker fans. The Big Red Preview is coming soon. Join us Saturday night, August 3rd, for an exclusive look at your Nebraska football team in action. Experience the excitement, the energy, the sights and sounds of a game day as the 2024 football season kicks off. Visit Huskers.com/tickets and bring your family, friends, and all your Big Red pride to Memorial Stadium Saturday night, August 3rd. That's Huskers.com/tickets. Brought to you by Husker Athletics and 1890 Nebraska. Winning tradition, future success.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see a chance of showers and storms. Otherwise, probably sunny skies with the high around 84. Tonight, a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms early, then partly cloudy skies with the low around 64. And tomorrow, we'll see mainly sunny skies return with the high around 88. I'm meteorologist Kyle Buck for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Play ball! Tired of the same old routine? Then bring your crew out to Haymarket Park for a thrilling season of Lincoln Salt Dogs baseball and unleash the fun. Enjoy action-packed home games all week long from May through August. It's the perfect change-up to the typical family night or makes for a home run outing with friends and coworkers. Experience the magic and get in on the excitement. Visit saltdogs.com to secure your tickets now. Unleash the fun.
Football season is nearly here, and your long wait for year 2 of Matt Rule is almost over. Gear up for the season with 93.7 The Ticket's coverage of Big Ten Media Days from July 23rd to the 25th, live from Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. Jay Foreman, Amon Green, Adam Carricker, Chancellor Brewington, Derek Pearson, Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, and Nick Sainer will be in Indy for our shows Tuesday through Thursday. Getting the latest news from Nebraska and everyone else around the conference. Coverage of Big Ten Media Days is brought to you by 1890 Nebraska, Stevens and Smith Construction, The Complex, Warhorse Casino, and Riddles Jewelry.
Several irrigation contractors in Lincoln go out of business every year, leaving sprinkler system orphans, begging for service. The folks at Judson Irrigation shed a tear for these little fellas. They've been coddling these orphans for more than 40 years. From redesign, repairing, replacing, and restoring, remember the Judson Irrigation Orphanage.
Call the Judson Irrigation Orphanage 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just the professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, our passion. For happier, healthier furry friends. 93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Rounding out hour 1 of Old School here on 93.7 The Ticket. Don't forget, we are live on Facebook and YouTube, as well as we're back on Twitter. That's right. It's good to be back on the old Bird site that is no longer the Bird site. I'm Austin Orman with you for the next hour and change here on Old School. Thanks to Jay Foreman for stopping by the show, checking in from Indy. Again, Jay's going to deny it. He's going to lie and say that, oh, Houston's the better AFC South town. He knows it's Indy. He knows down to his core that Indianapolis is the superior AFC South city. He said Nashville just to make me mad as well. But just watch Jay's expressions. Listen to Jay talk. He's going to start talking glowingly about the city of Indianapolis and just how much better than the Texans the Colts very truly are, and will show that they will be this coming NFL season. Media Days coverage kicks off at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, 6 o'clock Central Time from Indianapolis. Turning our attention to Major League Baseball. My Royals, your Royals, our Royals, Lincoln's Royals, have the American League Player of the Week for the second time this year, and it's Bobby Witt Jr. yet again. There was some consternation, some concern about, how would the Home Run Derby affect Bobby Witt Jr.? Not only the fact he was participating in it, but he finishes the runner-up. Just one home run short, about 3 feet short of sending it to a swing off in the Home Run Derby. Makes a nice defensive play in the All-Star game behind Seth Lugo. Well, Bobby Witt Jr. says, I'm all right. I'm good, y'all. No need to worry. His first at bat back from the All-Star break. Second batter of the game for the Royals, Bobby Witt Jr. goes deep against the White Sox. Yeah, Bobby's okay. The rest of his series, he had 3 straight 3-hit games against the White Sox, right? A 3-game sweep for the Royals. He batted .818, 9 for 11 at the plate. Bobby Witt Jr. went against Chicago. An OPS and on-base plus slugging of 2.015. All right. A season OPS, it's really good if you're above 900, right? 750 is, hey, you're a good player. You're probably borderline all-star. 800 to 850 is MVP candidate. 900 plus is you're probably winning MVP, and anything over 1,000 is, yeah, you had an all-time great offensive year. Well, Bobby just doubled up an all-time great offensive year in 1 week. Now, granted, it is against the Chicago White Sox. I get it. Don't just take it with a grain of salt. You probably need most of the Dead Sea to take it with. But it was a good sign to see Bobby Witt Jr. pick up where he left off from before the All-Star break, come out on fire like that. Royals take the 3-game series against the White Sox. Final scores of 7-1, 6-1, and 4-1. Back in action tonight, pregame at 6:30 right here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. It will be the next 3 nights. They're hosting the Arizona Diamondbacks, last year's World Series runners-up. 3 straight games against them. Off day on Thursday before 3 games against the Chicago Cubs on the 26th, 27th, and 28th. They round out the month on the road at the White Sox as well. If you're the Royals, you have to take advantage of this stretch. After that series with the White Sox ends July, you turn your attention to August. 4 games on the road against Detroit, scuffling, falling back from where they were early in the year. Then you get to come home. You get 3 against Boston, who took 2 out of 3 from you right before the All-Star break. You get St. Louis for 2, and then the schedule toughens up again. At the Twins, at the Reds, host the Angels. There's a bit of a reprieve. And then here's the killer stretch here in late August into September. Host the Phillies for 3, at the Guardians for 4, including a makeup game of a postponed game, at the Astros to end out August. Then September, that's 4 against the Astros, 3 more at home against the Guardians, 3 more at home against the Twins, 3 on the road at the Yankees, 3 on the road at the Pirates, and then 3 at home against the Tigers. That takes you through the middle of August. So if you're the Kansas City Royals, you're looking to make some hay right now. In this part of the schedule, you made up a lot of ground this weekend, right? Cleveland lost a few games, or a couple games. Minnesota lost a couple times. Boston didn't play well. Royals are back in that 3rd wild card position right now. You can hear all the action here on 93.7 The Ticket, Lincoln's home for the Kansas City Royals. When we get back, I'm going to break the Big Ten preseason poll down into tiers, right? We got Jay's thoughts on it. I'm going to give you my thoughts on how Cleveland.com's Big Ten media poll broke down, what I think the tiers of contenders are in the Big Ten, and maybe a storyline or a question for each team. And then we'll play a conversation that Jay Foreman had with Terrell Farley. In case you missed it from Inside the Huddle on Sunday, we'll play that conversation with the newest Nebraska Football Hall of Famer. All that and more ahead. Hour 2 of Old School next.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive Certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Get ready, Husker fans. The Big Red Preview is coming soon. Join us Saturday night, August 3rd, for an exclusive look at your Nebraska football team in action. Experience the excitement, the energy, the sights and sounds of a game day as the 2024 football season kicks off. Visit Huskers.com/tickets and bring your family, friends, and all your Big Red pride to Memorial Stadium Saturday night, August 3rd. That's Huskers.com/tickets. Brought to you by Husker Athletics and 1890 Nebraska. Winning tradition, future success.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today will see a chance of showers and storms, otherwise partly sunny skies with the high around 84. Tonight, a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms early, then partly cloudy skies with the low around 64. And tomorrow, we'll see mainly sunny skies return with the high around 88. I'm meteorologist Kyle Buck for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Stevens & Smith Construction is a full-service, employee-owned concrete company that specializes in residential and commercial foundations and flat work. They've been a leader in the concrete industry since 1971, with nearly 250 employees combining for more than 2,000 years of service. With locations in Lincoln, Omaha, and Kansas City, they're united in quality, integrity, and professionalism to create excellence in construction. Learn more today at stevensandsmith.com.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just a professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, our passion. For happier, healthier furry friends. Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started. 93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket. HealthLink is elevating the human experience with holistic health, weight loss, nutrition, fitness, and wellness solutions. They offer one-on-one health coaching while personalizing nutrition and wellness plans for structure and simplicity. HealthLink provides nutritious foods such as high-protein entrees, meal replacement snacks, and supplements. But that's not all. If you mention 93.7 The Ticket, you'll get a 5% discount on your order and $20 off your first month if you start a HealthLink subscription. Find your missing link with HealthLink today on the southeast corner of 70th and Pioneers or by phone at 402-858-9356.
Several irrigation contractors in Lincoln go out of business every year, leaving sprinkler system orphans begging for service. The folks at Judson Irrigation shed a tear for these little fellas. They've been coddling these orphans for more than 40 years. From redesign, repairing, replacing, and restoring, remember the Judson Irrigation Orphanage.
Call the Judson Irrigation Orphanage 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Liberty Law Group is committed to the defense of your liberty in pursuit of your justice for those that have been injured. My name is Matt Knight, attorney with Liberty Law Group. If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, call 877-42-LIBERTY. Our relentless trial attorneys are committed to the highest quality legal representation. At Liberty Law Group, we will fight for you. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Once again, that's 877-42-LIBERTY.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
No DP, no J. I'm Austin Norman with you back in Lincoln as the guys are getting ready for Big Ten Media Days. Keep it tuned here to 93.7 The Ticket. Make sure you follow us on social media as well. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. I think that TikTok I think we have as well. Either way, if you have a social media platform, make sure you search for 93.7 The Ticket. We will be busy posting content, posting highlights, posting videos, interviews, thoughts, opinions, observations, you name it, at 93.7 The Ticket. Follow there. And you're hearing the commercials pretty much every break here. Follow the guys, right? They'll be posting from their personal accounts as well. The list is there in that commercial. I hope you follow them already on these social media platforms. But if not, make sure you do that before tomorrow. You're not going to want to miss it. And hey, throw us guys back here on Lincoln and follow as well if you are so inclined. At Twitter, I'm at Austin_Orman. My turn to give you my thoughts here on the Big Ten preseason poll. Again, the Big Ten doesn't actually file one of these as an official conference order of business, but Cleveland.com has been doing this for a while. So we'll go through that here in just a second. I went through it with Jay Foreman a couple segments ago now. Brett McMurphy tweeted it out. If you want to take a look at it, go find it there. If you have any thoughts on it, let me know. 402-464-5685. Which Big Ten team are you most interested in tracking throughout this season outside of Nebraska? Obviously, I know this is a Husker audience. Obviously, we will be living and dying with every breath, every step the Huskers take. But if there's another Big Ten team you're interested in monitoring to see how they fare, let me know on the text line. We got about 15, maybe 20 minutes here in this segment. That's essentially enough time for me to give you 1 minute on team in the Big Ten. Again, it's an 18-team Big Ten, spreading media days out across 3 days, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So plenty of content coming from the Big Ten, plenty of new teams, plenty of old teams. I'm going to go not in order of ranking here. I don't like rankings, 1 through X, however many. I prefer putting teams into tiers. This is a group of teams that I think are going to be similar. I'm not going to say team X finishes above team Y for any reason necessarily. There are teams that, I might do that for. But generally speaking, I like doing tiers more so than rankings. It gives you a little bit more room for nuance and I think a little bit clearer divide and picture of who's going to stack up where in the Big Ten. Let's start at the bottom here. Teams 18, 17, and 16 in the Big Ten poll are Purdue, Indiana, and Michigan State. I have a new coaches tier down here. And the new coaches tier is UCLA, Indiana, and Michigan State. UCLA hires Deshaun Foster, who brings in Eric Bieniemy to be an assistant coach out of the NFL ranks. Really curious to see how that goes for UCLA. J. Michael Sturdivant, one of the best receivers in the Big Ten. They lose a lot, including Latu, the edge rusher, out of that defense. So there's a long road to hoe for UCLA in year one. But as Jay and I were talking about, I wouldn't be shocked to see UCLA pop up and, challenge for a bowl game. The schedule for UCLA is at Hawaii, a week off. They host Indiana, go to LSU, host Oregon, go to Penn State, host Minnesota. I think UCLA can win that game. Rutgers is a long trip. I think that can be a competitive game. At Nebraska, UCLA is going to view that as an opportunity, just like Nebraska is. You host Iowa, you go to Washington, host USC, and then host Fresno State to end the regular season. I see at least 4 wins on that schedule for UCLA. I don't see a 2-10. I don't see a 10-2. I don't even see 8-4, right? I think 6-6 is probably the ceiling for UCLA, and we'll have to see about that. Indiana and Kurt Cignetti. I'm hanging on to every word Kurt Cignetti's saying at Big Ten Media Days. What's your pitch to come get kids to come play for Indiana? Google me. Look me up. I win, is what Kurt Cignetti said. That's a baller statement, baller phrase. And I hope it happens, right? Indiana hasn't been that good at college football. I mean, outside of that 2020 year with Penix, Whop Fillier was on that team, Stevie Scott at running back. I think Micah McFadden was still there at linebacker. That was a fun team, but they popped up kind of out of nowhere. Can Cignetti get something rolling in Bloomington? I'm not sure it happens year one, but again, he's a winner. Just Google him. And then Michigan State and Jonathan Smith. From Oregon State, right, the Beavers, to the Woodshed in East Lansing, all that wood that his Beavers nod through. Hey, guess what? Bring it to the Woodshed. You're good right there. He brings Aiden Childs with him from Corvallis to East Lansing, but not to media days. So we won't hear from Aiden Childs over these 3 days. Maybe one of the most purely talented quarterbacks. Needs a little bit of seasoning. We'll see what he's able to do in what we presume will be his first extended playing time. Is Jonathan Smith able to rebuild that defense? Because that's really how it happened at Oregon State first. Was the defense and the run game to get them respectable. DJ Uiagalelei had a pretty solid season out there in Corvallis as well before transferring to Florida State, where he'll be the starter taking over for Jordan Travis. So that's the new coaches tier. There's a tier with one team in it, and I call the, oh, you're still here tier. And that's Illinois. They just don't excite me in any way. They're just kind of there. The biggest benefit that Illinois had in the Big Ten was being in the West, where they could pop up and, steal a couple wins to get them bowl eligible. I thought Illinois had the driver's seat for the division last year, and then they faded down the stretch. I thought Illinois is in really good position. I'm not buying Illinois this year. They're just kind of there. Bielema is who he is at this point. The Big Ten knows him, is entirely familiar with him. He doesn't bring anything new and exciting to the table. The defense was solid last year with NFL talent, but they lost a good amount of it. Can it reload? The offense has been uninspiring for a while. It's a very Big Ten West outfit that has to find its way in a Big Ten with no divisions anymore. So, yeah, Illinois, you're still here. I would forget about you. I don't even know who you're bringing to media days, which gets us to our wait and see tier. I've got 3 teams in this one. One of them is Purdue. I could see things going off the rails and poorly for Purdue, but maybe there's enough there on offense that Walters cobbles something together and gets close to a bowl game. I didn't expect much from Purdue last year in a 4-8 year. They 3-9. I forget. Either way, it's not a good year for Purdue. Is Ryan Walters the guy? Does he have more of a runway? I'm curious to see. I think Purdue is a place that you can afford to be patient because it's out of the way, because it's not a football powerhouse, because you have Painter there doing his thing in men's basketball. But at the same time, in the new era of college football, the longer you allow yourself to be a doormat, the longer you go between exciting football and winning games, I think it's only going to get harder to pick yourself up off the mat and get going. So I think Ryan Walters is a young guy that deserves patience, but I could also understand from Purdue's point of view, it's, hey, we don't have runway. You have to get in and have something to sell. Show us reasons for hope and optimism. Get fans out to the game and raise money in the NIL era, because the gap is only going to keep growing between the haves and the have-nots. And right now, Purdue's one of the haves. They get the Big Ten money, and they're not doing anything with it. I'm curious to see just how warm Ryan Walters' seat gets if it's not a successful year. Jay said that if they finish last in the Big Ten, Ryan Walters is gone. I don't disagree with him. I could totally see that happening. I just hope it doesn't, right? I think Ryan Walters deserves another year after this one, regardless of how it goes, to see what that program looks like in his image. Big Bird on the text line. I appreciate your text. Let's get into it. The show us something tier. I referenced Judge Smales from Caddyshack. Well, we're waiting for really all of these teams. Big Bird says Wisconsin is the team that he's watching. They had probably more hype than Nebraska last year and was disappointing with the hype. They were also the preseason pick to win the West. They finished third in the division and 7-6 overall. Show us something. That's why I titled the tier the way it did. It's not now or never for Luke Fickell, who I think has some runway because of his Big Ten ties, his upper Midwest ties, because of how he built Cincinnati into a team that made the playoff, and because he was graded out and generally panned as the best hire of the coaching cycle. A surprise get for Wisconsin, maybe out of character for them to make such a splash hire. And what does he do when he comes in? He makes a splash. He changes Wisconsin by letting Jim Leonhard go, and that was probably always going to happen, given that a lot of Wisconsin fans and a good amount of the players too saw Jim Leonhard as their future leader, as their future head coach. But nope, it's Luke Fickell. Leonard's not brought back as DC, and Phil Longo is brought in as offensive coordinator. Doesn't really use Braylon Allen. Tanner Mordecai was fine. He was okay. He was solid enough, but didn't light the world on fire. Wasn't a game changer for them, even before the injury. A lot of quarterbacks gone. New quarterback in is Tyler Van Dyke from Miami, who had a really good year 2 years ago. Struggled with a little bit of injury and some inconsistency last year. I think Van Dyke has a higher ceiling than Tanner Mordecai does, but the floor is probably lower. It's a gamble. It's a bet on Tyler Van Dyke's talent by Luke Fickell, by Phil Longo and that entire staff. Defense should still be good enough, at least, right? It should be solid, but I don't think this is your traditionally imposing Wisconsin defense, right? I think Wisconsin, if we're talking about the old Big Ten West here, Wisconsin probably has the third best defense. I think Iowa and Nebraska are a step ahead of it. Minnesota losing its defensive coordinator, Joe Rossi, to Michigan State, I think is a surprisingly big deal. Purdue and Ryan Walters don't really have defense figured out, and they lost their couple best players. Northwestern's defense was pretty good last year, but I need to see a little bit more for me to pick them ahead of Wisconsin. There's a lot riding on this year for Wisconsin. Again, I don't think it's do or die for Luke Fickell, but to see how that hire ages in year two, to see if Wisconsin has a coherent identity and plan, I'm fascinated to see, because right now, I'm not sure what Wisconsin is, and I'm not sure Wisconsin knows who it is, what it is, or what it wants to be as a program. Other teams in this show us something tier. Rutgers is in this tier. I'm not going to say people are hyping Rutgers, because one doesn't hype Rutgers. Like, come on. It's Rutgers. It's Piscataway. I don't care if it's the birthplace of college football. You're always going to be skeptical of Rutgers. But they made a bowl game last year. Shiano's got them closer to where they were back in the old Big East days. And I don't think we will ever see the days of Rutgers winning 9 or 10 games consistently again, especially not in this new conference. But Rutgers can be pesky. Rutgers can be solid. And I could see Rutgers getting to 7-5 and 8-4. Give me a sec to pull up their schedule. But the question I would ask Greg Schiano is the rebuild where you thought it would be? Are you where you want to be? And how does this compare to the last time you were at Rutgers, right? What's easier? What's harder? How does that work? What are Greg Schiano's thoughts? All right, Rutgers here. The schedule is at Howard. Yeah, at Howard on a Thursday, August 29th, opening up the year. They go to Akron, get a bye week. These are at home. Sorry. Howard and Akron at home, as in the wrong column. At Virginia Tech, so there's their first road game. They host Washington. They come to Lincoln, host Wisconsin and UCLA back-to-back weeks, and then go to USC to finish October. That's a big stretch for them. At Virginia Tech, solid to decent, not great. I could see Rutgers winning that game. Washington at home, I mean, track record tells you Washington. I might be picking Rutgers in that game. At Nebraska, that's going to be a bloodbath. That's going to be who eats their bowl of nails better that morning. Wisconsin in Piscataway, again, track record says you take Wisconsin. I'm not so sure. UCLA, we'll see where they're at about halfway through the season. At USC, that styles make fights. Can Rutgers score on the USC defense? Can the USC offense score on the Rutgers defense? Then you get a bye week to start November. Your last 4 games for Rutgers are Minnesota at home, at Maryland, Illinois at home, and then at Michigan State. You can talk me into Rutgers going and having a perfect November. Would I put money on it right now? Absolutely not, but you can talk me into it. I think Rutgers is going to be sneaky. I think Shiano's getting them closer. Northwestern is in the show me something tier because last year really feels fluky. They won a lot of close games. They did some typical Northwestern hijinks. And it kind of feels like that whole season was running off of adrenaline, running off of haterade, right? Everyone said we couldn't do this. Everyone's against us. They're writing us off. I hope teams took Northwestern seriously last year, but I'm not so sure they fully did. Northwestern's not going to catch anyone by surprise this year. I like David Braun. I think he's a solid coach and under the radar hire as Northwestern's defensive coordinator before everything came out with Pat Fitzgerald in the locker room. I like David Braun. I wish the best for him, but it's hard to argue right now that last year wasn't a fluke. He's got a lot to prove. He's got a lot to show me. Two more teams in this show us something tier. Maryland is in this tier. Maryland and Rutgers, I think, are two of the biggest winners in Big Ten realignment / expansion. Being able to escape the Big Ten East is crucial for both of those teams, right? For Rutgers to get more chances at playing your Nebraskas, your Illinois, your Minnesotas, your Northwesterns, your Purdues is big for them. Do they take full advantage of it? I don't know, but it doesn't hurt them. Granted, they had Michigan State, they had Indiana, even Maryland sometimes in that tier, but Maryland on the low did climb up to decently consistent fourth on that side of the Big Ten. But both of those teams, I think, getting the opportunity to play some more of the middle class to the bottom middle tiers of the Big Ten, I think is only going to boost their resume and boost their chances at getting to bowl games. No Tagovailoa at quarterback for Loxley. Got to replace him. We'll see what they're able to do. And then 7809, Nebraska is definitely in the show me something tier. Absolutely. 7809. Nebraska is there, smack dab in the show me something tier. Let's go to break, and I'll explain the rationale behind Nebraska in the show us something tier. We'll get to the top two tiers as well when we get back to Old School here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Several irrigation contractors in Lincoln go out of business every year, leaving sprinkler system orphans begging for service. The folks at Judson Irrigation shed a tear for these little fellas. They've been coddling these orphans for more than 40 years. From redesign, repairing, replacing, and restoring, remember the Judson Irrigation Orphanage.
Call the Judson Irrigation Orphanage 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started. The weather is hot, the kids are out of school, and you're on your way to the lake and summer road trips. Are you getting to your vacation spot comfortably, or is your car letting you down? Mullen Motors Lot is full of great vehicles to take home, so you don't have to worry about your current car barely surviving another road trip. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride for summer road trips and beyond. Mullen Motors.
No tag-ons, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Get ready, Husker fans. The Big Red Preview is coming soon. Join us Saturday night, August 3rd, for an exclusive look at your Nebraska football team in action. Experience the excitement, the energy, the sights and sounds of a game day as the 2024 football season kicks off. Visit Huskers.com/tickets and bring your family, friends, and all your Big Red pride to Memorial Stadium Saturday night, August 3rd. That's Huskers.com/tickets. Brought to you by Husker Athletics and 1890 Nebraska. Winning tradition, future success.
Hey guys, it's Bill Bush. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty has opened a new location in Pender, Nebraska, in addition to their office in Lincoln. The real estate world can be confusing, so why wouldn't you want an expert helping you every step of the way? If you're looking to buy or sell farmland in Nebraska, Kansas, or Iowa, give Ethan Sorensen a call today at 402-380-0432 or visit them online at nextagrealestate.com. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty with locations in Lincoln and now Pender, Nebraska.
Everyone should have a collection of something. For some, it's stamps or coins, expensive cars, or even watches. But for a lot of people, it's sports cards. And there's no better way to grow your collection than with the help of Capital City Sports Cards, Lincoln's first and only collector-first sports cards and memorabilia shop. Capital City Sports Cards connects collectors of all ages and demographics with unique collectibles sure to bring any collection to life, no matter the budget. Visit Capital City Sports Cards near 56th and Old Cheney or through their eBay storefront. Capital City Sports Cards, Lincoln's premier sports card and memorabilia store.
HealthLink is elevating the human experience with holistic health, weight loss, nutrition, fitness, and wellness solutions. They offer one-on-one health coaching while personalizing nutrition and wellness plans for structure and simplicity. HealthLink provides nutritious foods such as high-protein entrees, meal replacement snacks, and supplements. But that's not all. If you mention 93.7 The Ticket, you'll get a 5% discount on your order and $20 off your first month if you start a HealthLink subscription. Find your missing link with HealthLink today on the southeast corner of 17th and Pioneers or by phone at 402-858-9356. The next generation of Huskers starts now. Join the official Kids Club of Nebraska Athletics today to score access to select home games, a discount at the team store, and endless Husker spirit. The free JV team gets you started with a game credential. Upgrade to the $35 Lil Huskers membership for a welcome box and VIP Lil Huskers experiences. Fuel your Husker spirit. Join the Kids Club today at huskers.com/kidsclub. Go Big Red.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just a professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, our passion. For happier, healthier furry friends.
A team succeeds when they work together. Banking's no different. At UBT, we're in your corner for every financial move you want to make. Your money's backed by a roster of experts who put in the work to know you and your community. So whether you're opening a savings account, buying a home, or planning your future, you always know who to turn to. Working together toward your financial goals. That's a win in our playbook. Union Bank and Trust. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
As a proud member of the Roofing and Solar Reform Alliance, Coalition Restoration stands out by providing thorough property assessments, personalized customer service, and top-notch craftsmanship. With years of experience in the industry, Coalition Restoration has built a notable reputation for having a team filled with skilled professionals and possessing the expertise to handle any roofing project, big or small. Visit their website today for a free roof assessment at www.coalitionrestoration.com or give them a call at 402-607-8186.
Liberty Law Group is committed to the defense of your liberty in pursuit of your justice for those that have been injured. My name is Matt Knight, attorney with Liberty Law Group. If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, call 877-42-LIBERTY. Our relentless trial attorneys are committed to the highest quality legal representation. At Liberty Law Group, we will fight for you. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Once again, that's 877-42-LIBERTY.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It's actually Austin Norman with you here in the 93.7 The Ticket Studios, 1040 O Street. Stop by and see us, right? Need a cup of coffee or in the area, stop by, say hi. We'll be here all week, some of us at least. A good portion of the crew is out in Indianapolis for Big Ten Media Days. And it's whenever I say in Indianapolis, it just takes me back to the March Madness commercial where you have it's Chuck Barkley, it's Spike Lee, I forget who else is there. And Chuck is driving the RV. He says, all right, guys, we made it. We are Indianapolis. As in the Annapolis, Maryland, instead of Indianapolis for the Final Four. Fantastic commercial. Check it out if you have a sec or two. If you're watching us on YouTube, right, type it into your search bar. Don't hit enter and find that after the show. All right, before break, we got a text from 7809 saying Nebraska is definitely in the show me something tier. In case you missed the first segment, yeah, we're doing tiers of Big Ten teams this year. I've got the new coaches tier, the oh, you're still here tier, the wait and see tier, and we're on to the show us something tier. Northwestern, Maryland, Rutgers, Wisconsin, and Nebraska are the teams that I have here in this tier. And I go back to something that Bill Connolly wrote. If you're not a Bill Connolly observer or knower, he's a writer for ESPN. Follow him on Twitter. Tweets out a lot of relevant stats and information. And he's done it. His SP plus is his kind of baby metric number that he goes to. He wrote it up for the Big Ten, the conference preview. And the first sentence that he says about Nebraska is, just as we continue to wait for Penn State to go from very good to elite, we are now in an annual wait for Nebraska to simply become good again. If that's not show me something, you're just standing there tapping your foot, arms crossed. Okay, when's it going to happen? Got to happen now. Water boiling yet? Nebraska, you there? Hello? We've been there for a while with Nebraska, and I don't have to tell you, astute listeners and audience, that Huskers under 500 for 7 straight seasons now. 7 straight. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. All under 500. That's a problem, right? We're not asking for Nebraska to get double-digit wins. Just be normal, good. Just be borderline top 25, good. That's all we're asking for. I really like what Connolly ends his section about Nebraska with, too. He mentions the high ceiling of exciting youngsters, in his words, including Dylan Raiola, Malachi Coleman, Jalen Lloyd, Justin Evans, Cam Lenhart, and Princeville Uman Mielen. And then he brings up the higher floor of some veterans. Throws Heinrich Harburg into that conversation, Thomas Fidoni, Jamari Butler, Javen Wright, Isaac Gifford, and Tommy Hill. And here's, to me, the money section of this. Connolly says, leaning on youth might pay off in the long run, but cost you some early wins. Leaning on experience might get you a long-awaited bowl bid, but put off development for future stars. What does Nebraska need to show me? Nebraska needs to show me that it's ahead of schedule, like Matt Rule said. When Matt Rule got to Nebraska, he said, yeah, there's more talent on this team. The cupboard wasn't nearly as bare as it was at Temple and Baylor. Okay, if you're going to say that, usually your better year comes year 3. Make it year 2. Absolutely make it year 2. There was a part of me that wanted to put Nebraska into the next tier. I call it the one-dimensional tier. But I don't think Nebraska's defense was so good last year as to belong in this one-dimensional tier. Really good defense. Did a lot of good stuff. But Nebraska's defense still wasn't on the level of Michigan or Iowa, and the offense very clearly was not at the USC level. So that's why Nebraska's in the show me something tier. Because nationally, that's what people are saying about Nebraska. Nebraska, show us something. Show us that you're able to get back to a bowl game. Show us that we have to start looking out for you to challenge for the Big Ten within the next 2, 3, 4 years. That's the national perception. And then we bring it back home. What are we asking Nebraska to show us? Let me know what you want Nebraska to show, 402-464-5685, or drop a comment on any of our streams. I want Nebraska to show me 24 to 28 points per game. That's not great. That's not a lot, but it's a step in the right direction. I want the defense to show me 1.5 takeaways per game. You know, get 18 interceptions and forced fumbles. That's not a lot, but it would feel like a step in the right direction. Get 2 to 3 sacks per game, right? Be at 30, 36 sacks by the end of the year. I mean, last year, man, Rico and I ran these numbers. Give me a sec to pull them up here. Nebraska had more sacks than I would have expected. Yeah, Nebraska had 32 sacks last year. If Nebraska gets another 32 sacks, which is just shy of 3 sacks per game, add that on top of the forced turnovers, and that's a big step in the right direction for this team. Chubby Rhino, I want Nebraska to show me a shutout, a Big Ten shutout. Sure, fire me up, bring it on. As we look at Nebraska's schedule, the opportunities for a shutout, and I know this is a dangerous game to play, but hey, we're having fun. Do it with me here. Could Nebraska shut out? We'll do Big Ten, right? Because you want a Big Ten shutout, Chubby Rhino. Okay. Your options are Illinois at home. Okay, I'm not sold on that, but talk me into it. At Purdue, doubtful. Can you shut out Rutgers? Absolutely, I think you can shut out Rutgers. I really do not trust that offense, even with Ethan Kaliak-Manis at the helm. Can you shut out Indiana? I doubt it. I do doubt it, but maybe. If you shut out Ohio State, all right, yep, shut it all down. It's over. You've peaked. We've done it. Nebraska's officially back. Just imagine Nebraska shutting out Ohio State. That would be maybe the most hilarious thing to happen in the college football season. Can you shut out UCLA? Probably not. Could you shut out USC? Again, that's just shy of Ohio State. Probably not shutting out Wisconsin. There's a chance about Iowa. There's a chance. Shutout on the road in Kinnick. Again, doubt it. I think the Iowa offense is going to be better. A Big Ten shutout, I would not put money on, but those are the options there. Brian, I want Nebraska to show me that they can actually win the close games consistently. All right. If you take off the word consistently, I can get on board with that, Brian, because consistency is built up over a number of years. Nebraska won't be able to show you anything consistently in just 1 year. If you start by winning close games this year, that gives you a step to jump off of to next year and win another close game or two in the years to come. Because you're right, Nebraska hasn't done it. Tom Fornelli of CBS Sports put out a really good article about close games that I've had on the back burner of things to go over. So definitely stay tuned for that. I don't have it pulled up in front of me. But basically, the Big Ten plays a lot of close games. You're going to find yourself in some, especially if it remains a conference of good defenses and mediocre offenses, generally speaking. You'll find yourself in some close games. That's the other thing I want Nebraska to show me before I get to a couple more of your texts. Show me special teams. Show me clock management and game management. That hasn't just been, lacking for a year or two. I think that really points back as far as the last winning season in 2016, right? All Nebraska had to do was manage the game to get a first down after the interception on the road at Camp Randall twice. You got 2 interceptions late. You couldn't get one first down to ice the game. That's clock management. That's game management. That's talent, whatever. That was a top 10 Nebraska team that couldn't do that. So you're not going to see winning close games consistently in this one season, but you got to start somewhere. Start that off this year. Back to the text line, 402-464-5685. Brad from Baldwin says, show me the young talent and roll with it. All right, Brad. All right, Brad from Baldwin. I see you. I hear you. This is where the college game is different than the professional game. And the example I'm going to use here is the Golden State Warriors. They had their 2 timelines plan, is what they called it. And essentially, they wanted to meld 2 timelines together into one. They wanted to write it out with Steph and Clay and Draymond while also developing young talent. At least that's what the front office wanted. Steve Kerr didn't really do that. Steve Kerr didn't give the young guys a whole lot of opportunities, trusted older veterans instead of, taking some lumps in the regular season and allowing the young players to grow and develop through reps alongside Steph, Clay, and Dre. It didn't happen, and that's why the Warriors are where they're at right now in salary cap purgatory at best and struggling with draft picks. They haven't drafted well. I mean, Podziemski was solid for them last year. Trace Jackson-Davis, I think, is going to be a fun piece for them. But you're essentially missing 3-4 years of draft picks when you couldn't afford to try to maximize the run with those 3 players. And, of course, Clay now off to Dallas. It's different in the college game. I think Nebraska and college teams, generally speaking, can thread the needle better than in the professional ranks. You can look at a place like Nebraska, right? I go back to that Bill Connolly article. The young names that he throws out there, Dylan Raiola, presumed starter. Malachi Coleman, we'll see if there's a leap forward in him. Jalen Lloyd, really fun player. I think he's the starting slot as of right now, and that's fun. Justin Evans on the offensive line, and you have guys behind him, right? Gatula, Sledge, Bricks on the come up, Gibson Pyle as well, guys like that. You can see the young pieces on offense, and then on defense, you've turned your attention to Cam Lenhart. Can he avoid a sophomore slump? Princeville Uman Mielen got a little banged up. What's in store for him? Is there a young defensive back that steps up, right? Is Sierra Wright ready to go, arriving from USC? Is there a Sincere Seifiula sighting this year? Dwight Boodle, does he pop up? There are young pieces on Nebraska's team, but there are also some older guys that I think in college can provide that sort of veteran leadership and steadiness. And Isaac Gifford, a Robinson, Hutmacher, and Butler defensive line. We'll see if Stephon Thompson steps in at linebacker. I assume John Bullock is the starter, given how that staff has talked about him. Tommy Wright, that's an older guy. In college, it's harder to go all in on youth unless you're a new coach. If Nebraska was going to go all in on youth, I think it would have happened last year, but they didn't. They had pieces around. They got to 5-3. Guys, Nebraska was 5-3 last year. It feels like another lost season because there wasn't a bowl game. But let's not forget, we were playing some game theory in our heads and trying to figure out how Nebraska could win the Big Ten West because they were right there. There was that glut of teams at 6-2, 5-3, 4-4. Nebraska had every opportunity to win the Big Ten West last year, and it didn't happen. Right? 5-3, you lose to Michigan State in probably the worst game of the year. Nebraska didn't show up ready to go at all. That was wildly uninspiring. You led Maryland, let them off the hook. You led Wisconsin, let them off the hook, couldn't get anything going in the second half. And then you got down to Iowa. You staged a comeback. You were right there. Tommy Hill has the interception. You're in Iowa territory. And then you give the ball right back. Iowa ends up kicking the walk-off field goal. So college, you can walk that line a little bit better. The veterans on Nebraska's team have an important role to play, whether it's the offensive line, whether it's an older running back room, whether it's the transfer receivers that are older, right? In Jamal Banks and Isaiah Nair, relatively veteran tight end position. Really, it's the quarterback room that's still pretty young for Nebraska. And on the defense, I think that unit is very well positioned to plug in youth at important positions and important moments when it has to, because it can. Because it has 9 or 10 guys who know exactly what they're doing, that do their job so well. Yeah, the young guy's going to get picked on. Defensive coordinators know that their guy's going to get targeted. Offensive coordinators know when a guy's new to the scheme, new to the game, and they will go at them. But that's why you give your young guys the opportunity to make a play and prove that they won't get picked on. All right, 3027 says, just beat a ranked opponent or two. That's all I want. Who could those ranked opponents be on Nebraska's schedule? Let's break that down to end the show. 402-464-5685. Outside of Ohio State, who on Nebraska's schedule do you think could be ranked when the Huskers play them? We'll get into that to wrap up Old School next.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive Certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals. As a proud member of the Roofing and Solar Reform Alliance, Coalition Restoration stands out by providing thorough property assessments, personalized customer service, and top-notch craftsmanship. With years of experience in the industry, Coalition Restoration has built a notable reputation for having a team filled with skilled professionals and possessing the expertise to handle any roofing project, big or small. Visit their website today for a free roof assessment at www.coalitionrestoration.com or give them a call at 402-607-8186.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today will see a chance of showers and storms, otherwise partly sunny skies with the high around 84. Tonight, a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms early, then partly cloudy skies with the low around 64. And tomorrow, we'll see mainly sunny skies return with the high around 88. I'm meteorologist Kyle Fleck for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit ostreetcarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Several irrigation contractors in Lincoln go out of business every year, leaving sprinkler system orphans begging for service. The folks at Judson Irrigation shed a tear for these little fellas. They've been coddling these orphans for more than 40 years. From redesign, repairing, replacing, and restoring, remember the Judson Irrigation Orphanage.
Call the Judson Irrigation Orphanage 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Hello, this is Mary Pat Waite. I've had the privilege of working with Lincoln families as their realtor for more than 31 years, and I'm so proud to be associated with MP Dodge Real Estate. For me, your transaction is unique in its own way. My experience allows me to bring you trusted care and a really great outcome. My NP Dodge family shares the same client focus.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
The next generation of Huskers starts now. Join the official Kids Club of Nebraska Athletics today to score access to select home games, a discount at the team store, and endless Husker spirit. The free JV team gets you started with a game credential. Upgrade to the $35 Lil Huskers membership for a welcome box and VIP Lil Huskers experiences. Fuel your Husker spirit. Join the Kids Club today at huskers.com/kidsclub. Go Big Red. HealthLink is elevating the human experience with holistic health, weight loss, nutrition, fitness, and wellness solutions. They offer one-on-one health coaching while personalizing nutrition and wellness plans for structure and simplicity. HealthLink provides nutritious foods such as high-protein entrees, meal replacement snacks, and supplements. But that's not all. If you mention 93.7 The Ticket, you'll get a 5% discount on your order and $20 off your first month if you start a HealthLink subscription. Find your missing link with HealthLink today on the southeast corner of 70th and Pioneers or by phone at 402-858-9356. Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $25.60 per hour, which grows to $30.12 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $34.51 per hour with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates with increased bonuses and vacations for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
On the Block with Strick and Austin.
If it was the Big Ten and the SEC and the Big 12 and the ACC's idea to kick back to grow the game at lower levels, we wouldn't have these conversations. But because the NCAA is asking them to do that, it feels like they're getting their wallet stolen, money taken out of it, and it's not their idea, so they're against it.
Yeah. Weekdays from 2 to 4 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
One segment left to go here on Old School, brought to you by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Every type of meat, every type of cut. 2 Lincoln locations and 1 in Omaha. Check them out today. Still grilling season, still grilling weather. Make sure you get your meat from the Mercado if that's what you're going to do. The question ahead of us here for these next few minutes: how many ranked teams do you think Nebraska will face in 2024? Question comes from 3027, who just says, just beat a ranked opponent or 2. That's all I want. And Lance leads off the conversation. Does Rutgers have a chance to be ranked when Nebraska plays them? Lance, I'm going to say I doubt it. They play Howard. They play Akron. They have a bye week at Virginia Tech and then Washington before Nebraska. So that's 5 weeks, 4 data points for Rutgers. Howard not going to move the needle. Akron not going to move the needle. Virginia Tech, they're okay. They're fine. That's not going to be a huge win even on the road. If Rutgers is able to knock off Washington, I think that's going to be a solid win. That's going to be a better win than we've seen out of Rutgers in a while. But you can hear the excuses now. Oh, Washington had to go across the country. Oh, that's Washington's first real Big Ten test. Oh, hey, watch out. I mean, everyone gets got in Piscataway sometimes. That's how I think that conversation goes. So even if Washington, might be a good win for Rutgers, I just don't see it moving the needle for people a whole lot. And Washington's schedule up to that point will be Weber State, Eastern Michigan, Washington State, and Northwestern. So their second Big Ten game, their first Big Ten road trip is out to Piscataway. So no, I don't think Rutgers will be ranked. UTEP won't be ranked. If Colorado is ranked, that's how you'll know we're living in a simulation and we're actually playing the college football 25 game. Northern Iowa won't be ranked. Illinois ought to not be ranked. Purdue, I doubt. Rutgers won't be at that point. Indiana shouldn't be. Ohio State will be. Yeah, Lance, Washington should be down this year anyway. Yeah, I think that's still a bowl caliber team, but they're not going to challenge for the conference. So Ohio State will be ranked on October 26th. And this is where I have questions. UCLA, probably not. Probably not. I'll say no. At USC. Oh boy. Will USC be ranked when Nebraska goes out to the Coliseum? The USC schedule is somewhere here as I thumb through my copy of Phil Steele. All right. USC will have played LSU, Utah State, at Michigan, Wisconsin, at Minnesota, Penn State, at Maryland, Rutgers, and at Washington, with 2 bye weeks before they get to Nebraska. Whew. I doubt USC will be ranked because I don't think they come out of those first 9 games looking great. If USC 6-3, are they ranked? Probably. I just don't think they get to 6-3. They're not ranked at 5-4 or worse. I think 6-3 is pretty much a dream scenario for USC coming out of those first 9 games. So I'm going to say no, USC's not ranked. Will Wisconsin be ranked? Week 11, Wisconsin will have Western Michigan, South Dakota, Bama, at USC, Purdue, at Rutgers, at Northwestern, Penn State, at Iowa, and Oregon before Nebraska, again with 2 bye weeks in there. I kind of doubt Washington will be ranked. I am most confident in Ohio State being ranked, and then I will all but guarantee that Iowa is ranked by the end of the year, by the time we get to Black Friday. Hawkeyes get Illinois State, Iowa State, Troy, at Minnesota, bye week, at Ohio State, Washington, at Michigan State. They get Northwestern, Wisconsin, at UCLA, a bye, and then at Maryland. Yeah, Iowa's schedule isn't that bad. I think Iowa's going to be 8-3, 9-2, 10-1 playing Nebraska. I mean, Iowa went 10-4 last year, y'all. I think Iowa's ranked, and it wouldn't shock me if Iowa's inside the top 15. I don't think that's a top 10 schedule. Iowa might have to backdoor its way into the playoff, but I think they're going to be in contention just because of the way that schedule sets up. But 30-27, when you say just beat a ranked opponent or 2, complicating that fact is that Ohio State's going to be a top 5 team in the country this year unless something goes drastically wrong, and it'll probably take a couple somethings. And Iowa's going to be, top 15, which is almost, the top 10% of college football. Nebraska doesn't have many opportunities against, top 25 teams or teams 20 through 25 or even really teams 15 through 20, where it's an upset because they're ranked, but they're just like a normal good team, not like a great team. That's been, I think, the problem for Nebraska against ranked teams. And I need to go back and double check this. This is anecdotal, but it feels like the ranked teams that Nebraska has played in the last handful of years have been top 10 good, where it is a legitimately huge upset, not just like a normal upset of a top 25 or a top 20 team. Nebraska just doesn't get many opportunities against the bottom half of the rankings that are, hypothetically easier games when you look at them. So Nebraska might only get 2 cracks at a ranked team, and they're both on the road against teams that have frankly manhandled you recently. Granted, Iowa hasn't exactly manhandled you on the scoreboard, but they have in the win column. So if your 2 ranked games are at Ohio State and at Iowa, winning one of those, I think, is a step in the right direction. And please, for the love of all things holy, let it be Iowa. It's been a good show. Thanks to Jay Foreman for popping on in hour number 1. He's part of the crew out in Indianapolis. I was about to say something else. He was out in Indianapolis getting ready for Big Ten Media Days. Our coverage kicks off at 6 in the morning. We're about 12 hours away from that. But until then, we got Ticket Weeknights. Harrison Orange here in the building. Turn it over to him here in just a sec. For Strick, for Jay, I'm Austin Norman. Thanks for listening. We'll be back tomorrow with coverage from Indianapolis and Big Ten Media Days. Ticket Weeknights next on the Ticket.